Alright, in this video I'm going to show you how you can build a custom repository as well as custom ebuild on Gentoo system. Okay, so ebuild is a kind of mechanism which allow you to install software in Gentoo by the package manager emerge. Okay, so you can build a local repository of the software which is not in the main Gentoo repo. Okay, so you can build your own repository which doesn't have in Gentoo main repo. Okay, and ebuild is the way to fetch build the software on Gentoo system. Okay, so this is what I'm going to do in this video, so please pay attention. So without further ado, get me to the terminal. I have my note file on the right hand side because I tend to forget, so I write it down and generate HTML and PDF out of my note as I shown it my backlog video. So on the right hand side, that is my note file which I'm going to follow, and on the left hand side I have a terminal open, so I'm going to follow that. Okay, so the first thing first, Gentoo have a repository place where specifically it gives its packages. Okay, so as mentioned, the first create a directory for CustomRepo, and we need to navigate to, I'm just going there, I can do it at once like it's shown here in my note, so but I'm doing it for the sake of clarity. You need to go to var db repos. Okay, so this is the place. Here you need to make a directory called CustomRepo. Okay, right, so we have CustomRepo. Okay, now we need to create more directories. Okay, create 2 more directory underneath the CustomRepo dir. Okay, so let me do it again. Sudo mkdirp and CustomRepo, then metadata and profiles. These 2 directories has to be created. Okay, so if I see, those directories have been created, right? Now I need to fix the permission, so the directory should have a portage as user and group. Okay, so to do that, chonr portage CustomRepo. This directory and underneath all the directories and content will be owned by user portage and group portage. That is required. So if I say, okay, so I have changed the ownership of the directory we have just created. The coffee tastes wonderful first thing in the morning. Okay, so the next thing is that we need to create a file called layout.conf under the metadata directory. Okay, so what we do, CustomRepo metadata layout.conf. Okay, and which supposed to have two line as mentioned in my note. Masters equal to Gentoo and auto sync equal to false. Now what this two line means, Gentoo is the master repo and auto sync false means we don't want to sync with the master repo because this is a personalized custom repo which resides in this machine and not integrated with anything online. So there is no point to get sync with the main repo. Okay, so that's what this two line means. We specify the main repo and we are disabling the auto sync with that repo. That's why we write auto sync is assigned to false. Okay, and you have to write that file and close it. Okay, now you have to create another file under profile, CustomRepo profile, and you have to give the file name repo name. Okay, and in this file just one line you have to write custom repo. That's all, and you have to okay. So I have written two files. One is under metadata called layout.conf, which should consist two line. Master is assigned to Gentoo, auto sync is assigned to false, and another file under profile directory which will be called repo underscore name, and that file should have one line called custom repo or whatever the repository directory you name it. Okay, I make it explicit so it will be easier for you to understand. By the way, I'll upload this my note file in one of my GitHub repo later once this video is complete, so you can have a look at it. It probably under a repository called collected note. Okay, so the next thing is that I need to create two more entry in a etc portage repos.conf / customrepo.conf. Okay, so let me create that file. Let us see, portage repos.conf customrepo.conf. Okay, and I have probably already created it, that's why it is there. So the content will be that first of all, within the square bracket you need to give the name of your repo, which is custom repo in this case. Okay, I have written clearly like that, and the location you need to provide where your custom repository located in the system. In my case it is var db repos custom repo. Okay, these two line has to be there in the file etc portage repos.conf and / customrepo.conf. Okay, so once you have done that, now you need to create a package directory. Suppose you want to install a package which is not in the main Gentoo repo. Okay, so for that you need to create a directory which hold the package. Okay, so for instance I choose a specific software which is not in the main Gentoo repo. It is called VIMB, which is nothing but a browser based on Vim principle. Okay, I have been using it for quite some years and I found it useful, so I just choose this software randomly. You can choose anything of your liking. provided it not already present in the main Gentoo repo. Okay, that is the whole purpose to build a custom repo. Okay, so if I search EIX VIMB, see, it is not there in the repo. Okay, you can see, right? So I have to create a directory which hold the package, right? So for instance, sudo mkdir p custom repo, and there is a convention in Gentoo, the package name should be preceded with the category name. Okay, the category, it is a browser basically, so it comes under www-client, okay, /vimb. Okay, this directory has to be created. Okay, so let me create that. So it has created, right? Now custom repo, you can see that it is created a directory in www. Okay, so now I'm going inside that file. Okay, so there is nothing inside that file, right? So all I have to do, we have to create a custom Ebuild file which consists of the source of the software or the required stuff, which will allow Gentoo package manager, which is emerge, to pull up the things from a designated location and build the software and essentially installed it on the system. Okay, this is the purpose of it. Is a kind of shell script, you can say, which is specially written by the Gentoo developers to maintain their coherency inside Gentoo system. Okay, all you need to do, I'm using Vim, so // like every other executable, this is the way you should access. You can access that template with other editors too. I'm using Vim, that's why I'm showing it. You need to access the predefined Ebuild template to access it, like // then the software name VIMB. Because I know the version of it, you can put, it's up to you, right? It will be easier, 3.6.0 dot, and it must have a extension Ebuild. Okay, so you need to call up your editor, like in this case Vim, // like the normal executable you execute. Okay, // then the software name we are going to build, then the version, and the extension of that file should be .ebuild. Okay, now if I press enter, see, it's pre-filled with some text. Okay, this is a text of the Gentoo Ebuild. This field has to be filled. Okay, has to be filled with the correct information. As I said, I randomly choose a software. In my case it is VIMB, so I am going to fill up this. Okay, to give it a proper, I go to insert mode and say, if I choose this and if I copy and I go to my description section, if I paste it, okay, and Now I need to give the home page URL. Okay, if I go here again and if I select it and I'm going to paste it, now I have to give the source URL where you can get it, right? Now this is the place I need to I need to give it, not this one. I need to give the release URL. Okay, so let me get the, so I'm taking the source code URL and going back to my template, and if I paste it here, see, okay, no, not this one, why it is getting pasted. Okay, so I have pasted the source tarball. Okay, now the license, you need to provide the license to, and it says what is the license? It's GPL3 most probably. Let me cross check it one more time. Okay, it's a GPL3. I'm copying it verbatim and go here and paste it. Okay, so, and it has, Gentoo has different slots to install software. Okay, I'm going to install it in a primary slot, which is 0. Okay, there are slot 1, slot 2 and slot 3. You need to refer back to Gentoo handbook to understand what are the slots means. And now I have some template which is already I have predefined, so, and I bound a key which will fill this template with those predefined code block. So all I do, leader EB, which will infuse the code what I have saved in a template file to in this file. Okay, you can see if I press leader EB, see, this code has been infused because it is required. Okay, now if I do, and if I get rid of this, and all I did here is the dependency of that particular package I'm going to build. Okay, this is the keyword. You need to mention what is the architecture your software is going to work on. Okay, I mentioned it as AMD 64. You could have mentioned other architecture too if you are going to build it there. If you're Gentoo running on some other architecture, you need to mention that. Okay, depend is these softwares are required to build the software you are trying to build. You understand this? That's why it's clearly written depend. Okay, this is also, these are predefined variable for Gentoo Ebuild template. Okay, so these things is not required, so this is binary depend and reverse depend and all these things. So to get a detailed description of this kind, I'm not going to cover it, but as you can see, you can easily get the template, but it is very important to know the difference or the purpose of each and every variable. Without knowing the purpose, you just cannot go and blindly use this. Then it might bring some unpleasant experience for you. Okay, so the purpose is you should go back to the Gentoo handbook. I'm sorry, I'm suggesting it again and again, because if you know what you are doing, the outcome will be not so surprising. Okay, and after certain time in life, you don't started to like surprise. I don't like surprise. I know what I'm doing. So the outcome should be as predictable as possible. I'm not saying that I'm not seeing the unpredictable stuff, but I'm just cutting down the chances. I'm trying to get as close as possible. It applied to every other thing, every other software you operate on, or every other platform you sit on, right? So to cut down the surprises is a big deal, and people should focus on that. I generally do, and I'm very stringent about that, because if I don't, it will gobbles up so much of my time and to hover around to fix the annoyed stuff, right? Okay, so that is the purpose behind it. So you should go back to Gentoo handbook and understand what are these. I'll leave it for you to discover it, so it will be easier for you to understand. You just blindly don't have to copy and paste. Okay, here is the source prepared. So before doing anything to the source, there is a process to build the config file. So this function will take care of that. Here is a simple make in a Gentoo lingo. It is built as a emake, okay, and which is specifically running on the prefix. You can see the prefix is user, okay, and here is the install step. And again, you have noticed that these variables, there are several variables like that, like s and p and all this stuff. These variables are specific to Gentoo Ebuild. I highly recommend it. I'll show you if I find the page. I definitely find that. To understand why these variables are declared by the Gentoo developers, if you understand that, so your Ebuild creation become much more portable, much more efficient to work on. Okay, so this is one of the variable you are seeing, $D, okay, and you can clearly see it is assigned to destination dir. Okay, now save config is once you run that, it will create a folder and save your configuration for the future purpose in the system. So this is very bare bone minimal Ebuild which is required to build a software on Gentoo system. Okay, I'm again briefing. We are building a custom Ebuild to build a software on a Gentoo system. That software is not available, or are not, if many softwares are not available on main Gentoo repository. Clear, right? Okay, so this is the Ebuild file, and it could be little more, except from the top portion there could be little more section. If you want something, your software should do something specific, you should mention it here. I'll refer you back where you should check out the actual Gentoo have a detailed web page for describing everything about it. Okay, all you need to do, you need to spend some time to read through it and understand once that hurdle is over, you will be much more in control of your system. Anyway, so let me save this file. Now I have saved the file, right? So now again, you need a software called RepoMan, okay, which is basically going to bring along the manifest of the software you are going to build. It is required and it is mandatory. So if I run EIX RepoMan, because I have already installed it, see, it is already installed in my system, right? So if it is not installed in the system, you are supposed to install it, okay? It is called RepoMan, which will help you to bring the manifest file for the particular software you are trying to build. Okay, so now we have created our Ebuild, and we have now we need to generate the manifest file, right? So for that we need to do sudo RepoMan manifest. All you have to write, you can, if you do not see it, what I am typing, you should, right? There is a see, this is the command you need to run. I've highlighted the command on my notes. Okay, so if I run it, it is go and hang on. Why it is complaining? Okay. Okay, I misspelled. I misspelled the repo. That is why it was complaining. Now let me run it. RepoMan manifest. So it has created a manifest file, right? Now you can look into the manifest file, what it contains. Okay, see these things. So it creates some hash inside the manifest file just to make sure the sanity of the package you are going to install. Okay, so we are almost done. Now, so we have done our work. Now if I run sudo emerge away www client via MB, and we make sure we get it from the custom repo. You see what I have typed? I have typed double colon, then the custom. It is not required, but I make it explicit that it should come from there. Okay? So if I press enter, see? We are ready to roll. If I say yes, it will fetch the source, build it, and install it, because I have already installed and I don't want to mess with this my configuration, so I'm not going to do it. Or okay, let me do it for few seconds so you can see how it pull down. Okay, so if I say yes, see, it is going to fetch the source, it is going to prepare it, it is going to build it, something like that. Okay, so I'm canceling it because I don't want to mess it up. So you can see, right, I intentionally interrupt the build. This is how you build your own repository on Gentoo, as well as create a custom Ebuild file to make the require software with the help of the package manager. Okay, so it is very easy if you follow the steps. I will upload this particular my node file in a GitHub repository of mine called collected node. You can check this out file if you need it in future. Okay, so I hope this video will clear a lot of stuff to you. Okay, so this is very easy to create a custom repo and custom Ebuild file to install specific software which is not in main Gentoo repository. You want to keep a local repository of your own with some specific software which you are interested, and you want to install with the help of the Gentoo package manager. I have mentioned the step and shown you the step clearly. It is not complicated. All you need little bit of time to read through the pages. Okay, so let me give you, sorry, if I Gentoo custom Ebuild. Okay, and if I run it, I'm showing it to you because you should check out the Gentoo wiki. So this is what you need to see. Okay, so you should take some time off and read this page. Okay, it is very easy to find on the Gentoo wiki. Okay, and steps are very clearly explicitly mentioned. You can, and this page too, basic guide to write Gentoo ebuilds. These are very explicit web pages. If you spend some time, you can get enhanced knowledge and understanding about all this stuff. So it will be easier for you to operate on it. Okay, so I highly recommend, please go to the Gentoo site, look into these pages. Okay, and probably what I'll do, I'll make your search pane little less. I'll put this particular to URL in the description section below, so you can easily click and go directly to that pages. Okay, so I'll put this to URL along with my note file URL in the description section below. So please check that out while you are watching this video. Okay, I hope I make it clear how easily you could build a custom repo, as well as with the help of custom Ebuild you can install the software in your system and maintain it yourself. Okay, thanks for watching.